Now the EMC at Cochin, I'm coming to a specific project which we are going to refer to. That's a background to the slide to that. The commercial capital of Kerala, just like you have Mumbai for the India, I think Cochin is a commercial capital for Kerala. Ranked second by NASSCOM in terms of ITS services. Proximity to the development which are happening in terms of Infopark, smart city, high-tech city, and technology innovation zone. The submarine cables line does, which is one of the reasons of the high bandwidth availability. Special economic zones in terms of Vallarpadam, Puduvai, and the LNG terminal coming in, which would be a good boost for the power. Logistic enhancements and establish industrial clusters and players. Now, one project which we got in principle approval from the government of India is electronics manufacturing cluster in Cochin, Kakinada. The advantage is Kinfra owns the 75 acres of land, fully under their possession. They are ready to work on it. The rest of the areas have been developed. So you have every other utilities coming to your battery limits. Now, proximity to the airport, rail network, road connectivity, the international container shipping terminal, and LNG terminal, once it materializes, a little more benefits on that. The picture you saw is definitely, there's an architect's view on the entire land, and this is the land. This is how it is placed. That's how it is, those are its neighbors. The neighbors in terms of, this is already a Kinfra Export Promotion Park, which is already developed. The smart city is coming up here, Infopark stage 2. The smart cities unit here, the Infopark 1, which is already established, and this is the land we are talking about, the highway connecting the airport and the seaport. Now, the proposed components, I think this is under revision. Iesa is associating with us to make a specific demand on those 23 components which we talked about. They'll also go deep into what Kerala can make. Not everyone running for everything does not mean anything. So we'll look at what we are good at or what the industry wants, and then from your voice, we'll be fixing up all these components. But for the time being, proposed is this. Office space, business centers, manufacturing space, storage space, and in-house containerization facility in case of somebody wants to move bulk material out. Logistics and ancillary infrastructure, which definitely will take care of the park authorities. Now, who is implementing this EMC? It's Kinfra. Now, what has Kinfra done over the years? Kinfra has been an industrial park developer. They've developed 20 plus fully functional parks. It's all successfully running. The cluster thing is working well in Kerala because when you had a problem of a so-called social unrest across, the clusters were very well protected from the rest of it. No man days lost. So now the cluster behavior has spread across Kerala, and it's a much better place to do business. So Kinfra has actually proven this, and they have moved from that to the internal licensing for power, water, and other things. They provide everything within their boundaries. They are engaged in creating basic infrastructure even outside the park. That's the trunk infrastructure which we talk about. Promoting infrastructure investments, because it actually started for various projects have been started under their banner, like Infopark, the Kannur Airport, and then moved on to special entities later. So they act as a land bank. Then, as a spelling mistake from my side, that's an aside scheme, the export promotion scheme, and 25 projects developed under that. Now, the specific schemes, you're all aware of it. I did not say that. So, the in principle approved for EMC in Kochi, Kakinad, more sites being identified by the government of Kerala, with or without the central government help. The government is very keen on developing more EMC sites. The MSIPs, I think now Trivandrum and Alappuzha also has been brought under the umbrella of the brownfield MSIPs. So the companies who want to expand further on that can be looked at. And we are, again, requesting IESA to support us with the ESDM policy, which is more focused on Kerala rather than a generic one. When we make it, becomes very generic, but when the industry gives us a feedback, it will be more specific. That much from my side, and what we say is create your footprint in our country, God's own country, and with that, I thank you, and for the questions, I request my principals to just take it over. Thank you.
The first question is always the most difficult, so let me start off by asking the icebreaker.
See, probably you are the one who knows Kerala very well because he's from Kerala. So he can as well answer it.
I probably won't be, I don't live in Kerala. No, Mr. Mullian, my question is slightly different. This is great, and you also have a base which has been built up with IT. Given the way IT was promoted, and it's become a destination which NASSCOM says is now the number 2. Are there learnings from the way you promoted IT which you think you can apply to the ESDM sector? There are, of course, hard issues related to VAT and so on and so forth, which we'll come to later. But what do you think, you've got Startup Village, which is a model for the country. You've seen IT come up very quickly. Are there any learnings from that which you think can be applied to the ESDM sector?
I'll be sort of self-critical in the sense that Kerala used to be more socialistic than other part of the country. We were always in first to actually give a new idea or a new beginning. One is the State Electronics Development Corporation, started by Mr. Nambiar in the 70s, which went into glory for a decade and then came down. Similarly, the first techno park, much before Bangalore has touched, Trivandrum has started, which of course is still very big. But we were actually strengthening this in the public sector. One reason for the private sector, which was not coming in the IT sector in infrastructure, was land constraints. So government used to acquire land and then develop on its own. And today I had all those. Now I find that those investments are one of the best investments government has done. In terms of much better than other PSUs. The Techno Park, Info Park make huge profits now. They make almost 100 crores revenue, which is getting reinvested every year into IT. How many of their units in that? How many you have? 9 or 10, I think. 8 or 9 they are. Now I think a few of them got, 1 or 2 got closed down. Still they have destinations which do very niche products and it goes to, they are not consumer products. Basically, that's why people don't know much about this. They are still there throughout Kerala. Now the innovation part of it, which we now do for last few years, this was started with the first Technology Business Incubation Center of Kerala in the Techno Park in 2005. Of course, idea started in 2002 and it got picked up. The first incubating company in the telecom space, MobMe Wireless, they themselves have started a technology business incubation, the first PPP incubator in Cochin, in Kalamassery. There we actually intend to have a multi-technology TBIs, different TBIs under different technologies. One is in electronics, is fast coming up. We will we'll have around 10, 12 technologies in TBIs is there. We are building up around 4-5 lakh square feet of space, which will be given free to new companies to come. This is supported by our student entrepreneurship policy, which is again is the first time in the country, giving 20% attendance and 4% grace mark for those student companies who are startups. They'll come and register themselves with the TBIC. Today we have around 1,000 of those student prospective companies, groups have registered with them. And it's a big movement which is happening. That's what yesterday I was saying in my speech, that in around 10 years we'll see innovation throughout India. Youngsters will start innovating, and that's a mood which is coming out throughout India. And we are really want to do a lot in that thing. Now, as regards policy of ESDM, we have not really formulated a policy. We've seen Karnataka has done it, a few other states has done it. We would be doing it in a year's time. But our infrastructures are there. Now, Dr. Jaishankar Prasad spoke of what is being done by Kintra. Apart from that, near the airport, we have a PPP infrastructure company called Inkal, Infrastructure Kerala Limited, which is mostly funded by the NRKs. They have very good space available for companies to take up now, very near to the airport by the side of National Highway. I think 1.25 lakh square feet is now ready. The second phase of that building is just given the clearance last week by me. They will be doing. So there are a few other locations around Cochin itself now. The Info Park, which we saw near the EMC, which is in principle approved, we are now have submitted another EMC of 50 acres out there, where the printer electronics part of it will come within that thing. Yesterday I spoke about a printer electronics unit and a research center which is coming, that will be there. So Cochin around, I see a lot of scope for people to come, and in terms of infrastructure, we have everything over there. And in terms of basically what you were talking about, the tax policy on the VAT, which is yet to come. This, I think, we'll learn from here, we'll learn from other states' policy, and we'll make a policy during the next year itself. Yeah, this will be a good beginning for us to go and work on that thing. That's it.
Could you show your experience with this startup villages? That's a very nice concept. How did you conceive it?
No, actually, see, the startup village was started by a startup company, which was started up in 2006. 4-5 people, 4-5 youngsters from Trivandrum Engineering College. They were the first startup in the Technology Business Incubation Center in Technopark Trivandrum. I think they graduated in around 2 years and they grew in 3-4 years. They've grown to 50-60 crores turnover. Then they themselves thought that they will lead the startup revolution, and they went to DST, Department of Science and Technology, and with their funding of 2.5 crores, they started what is called a startup village as a public-private partnership startup. TBIC, public-private partnership, TBIC. And Kinfra gave a space to them. Because the startups, we give free space for them to sit. We don't charge rent from them. And they say we are not charging anything from them. Maybe the electricity cost, the running cost of it, which is very small. Now, they have taken the lead. Those 3-4 boys, now we are going to construct 3 lakh square feet, one building to be given for different youngsters. That is again funded by DST and we 50.
The first project, you get them the land, you get them the building also.
Now, we gave the building to the startup village. The startup village has somewhat become global in terms of publicity. And all these youngsters, they are few young people. They have, this is, I think, a society, but they appointed a CEO who is a young person. And they have a group of youngsters with them who are getting in touch with all the engineering colleges. Of course, we give some backup support to them, going and attending their programs or organize program for them. The CM addresses them regularly, the youngsters who assembled. I think 2 weeks back, there was a big assembly of around 2,000 odd engineering students, mostly engineering, not even other science subject people in Trivandrum. So it's addressed by the CM. So that movement is getting built up. That's their angel funding. We have our, these guys, our Thai Kerala. Thai Kerala people, a few of them actually gives them funding. Then government, the KFC gives a good funding up to 20 lakhs, Kerala Financial Corporation. They give for all entrepreneurship, but they give a little more weightage and easy thing for the technology startup. Up to 20 lakhs, that's, I think, in his presentation there was something. Entrepreneurship development. With everybody.
No, they're giving angel funding.
Yeah, something 20 lakhs of interest-free sort of money they give. A few of them got it. Then there are a few successful industrials in Kerala are angels. They're giving money. They have a lot of people. And there are somebody who gets from NRIs, somebody got from, NRIs in the sense people who are in the US in technology field, Gulf people, they're all picking up. We will create a fund. The TBIC in Trivandrum has a revolving fund of 5 crores, which they are actually rotating. It's an angel fund which is rotating. 11 of them have actually paid back that money. Rest of around 5 crores is under circulation in Trivandrum Technopark.